touchdowns. King operates off of a 4-wide set, a huge play for everyone involved. Isaac Whitney pushed to the right-hand side. Juwan Thomas to the left, back to throw. King will take it himself inside the 15, looking for the first down, reaching for that chalk. He needs to reach the 10, and he's just about a half yard short. Nicholas King, following the injury, returns, and you got to believe that may have cost him the first down. He's still limping down there at the 15, and out onto the field is the field goal unit. This crowd doesn't like it.
That's the right call, though. I mean, 7 minutes remain in this game. Plenty of time for your great defense to make another play for your team. And it gets you 3 points, cutting the deficit. I mean, in this type of situation, if you were to score a touchdown, you still got to rely on that 2-point conversion.
This crowd is uneasy. Jimmy Camacho from 35, and the kick is good. 6:44 to go, and the Mounties lead 24-19. And Jimmy Camacho has really kept the Tigers in this game with 4 of 4 kicking today.
Jimmy Camacho is 100% from anything from 40 and below. So, hey, he's the perfect guy for this
11 for 11 this season.
To be exact.
Yeah, the freshman out of Citrus Hills really act like a full-fledged veteran. Take down the field goal, make it a first down inside the 10. A personal foul called against the Mounties. First and goal from the 6. And that's the only time that I'd be completely content with taking 3 points out of Jimmy Camacho.
I think there's still a lot of confusion going on.
Because that's one of the first time that I've seen a team that had the Tigers by the jugular again take this one away. Could you imagine, Dan, a team that had an 8-point lead early in the fourth and had a chance on that Tolbert touchdown to go ahead by 15? The turnover on the fumble, a couple of 3-and-outs, and then now the Tigers drive all the way to the Mountie 5. Hand off on the delay to the Foster. 5-4-3, reaching pylon, touchdown Tigers. He's in for 6.
Boy, talk about the page turning on behalf of RCC. Denzel Foster carrying this team to victory, possibly tonight.
Denzel Foster out of JW North, his 3rd score of the season. Take off the field goal, add on the touchdown, but wait, there's a flag.
No, they're going for 2. They're going for
2. This crowd has been uneasy despite the score. With a chance to tie it, 24-22 with 6:39 to go. Four-wide set. Back to throw. King looking left, and down he goes. No, a late throw, and that's incomplete, but a flag. We'll check the penalty. That may be pass interference against the defense. That was thrown to the left end zone.
This game has been a seesaw affair tonight.
Thank you all for joining us here on the National Sports Radio station, also on livestream.com. Holding against the defense. That'll be against Taekwon Glass. This crowd is loving it here at Wheelock Stadium. 6:39 to go, and they'll get another shot at it down to the 1 1/4 yard line. As into the game is Junior Pome.
The jumbo package is in.
Right. To go along with Mikani Manu, the sophomore fullback at 285 pounds. Denzel Foster, who had the rushing touchdown to put this thing to within 2.
A lot of confusion right now.
Crucial touchdown. He's into the game. He'll dot the I. But they do call, it looks like, another stoppage in play, and a timeout will be called. Their last.
Yes, it
Mount
is.
SAC has used up all 3 of their timeouts, and in a game like this, I think that will be the difference.
It just might. And in a game where you have 4 turnovers against yourself, you don't deserve to win this ball game. It's unheard of.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about...
You just give time after time. You give 4 turnovers. You give the personal fouls. They kick a field goal, Jimmy Camacho, and then another late flag that leads to a touchdown.
Boy,
I think Mount SAC on a silver platter is handing the game to the Riverside Tigers, and finally, offensively, they're taking advantage.
Boy, I mean, this usually happens to RCC.
Right.
I mean, with all the penalties and the turnovers.
It really is.
But, boy, the tide has changed.
It really has, like a tidal wave in favor of the Tigers. So from the 1 yard line, after the timeout, 6:39 to go, they could tie it at 24 with a 2-point conversion.
Wildcat.
Foster operates out of the Wildcat. King pushed out to the right-hand side. He'll run to the right, reaching for the end zone, but he's short. So the Tigers don't score the 8 that they needed, but instead of the field goal, they get 6. It's still a 24-22 game in favor of the Mounties, but that visiting crowd is uneasy. They had at one point a 24-13 advantage, and now the Tigers, off of 9 unanswered points, have pulled to within 2.
Tom Kraft, coach of Riverside, his mindset right now is in the defense we trust.
Right.
My bottom line is if there's a perfect situation for your defense, it's right here, right now. Already ranked number 1 in the state. Right now, it's time to prove it.
Riverside at one point was the number 1 team going in California to begin the season. Off of that loss to Grossmont and that disappointing win in double overtime to unranked Saddleback College, they dropped at one point all the way out of the top 10 in the playoff picture for California and completely out of the national picture. But now, after impressive victories against Fullerton and El Camino, they have a pulse. Now against Mount SAC, an opportunity to go to the playoffs. Vaughn's off a fumble, will take it out of his end zone to the 10, and he's tripped up at around the 11-yard line.
Not the
impressive
right
play made by Dayhon Wise. Back-to-back plays on special teams, and Mr. Wise is really taking advantage of his last name.
Boy, nerves.
It is.
Boy, do they play a role in this type of a game right there. Fumbling the ball in the end zone, electing to take it out. Should have kneeled it right there.
Should have needed it. As Bob Jastrab has to be completely uneasy with a loss. Mount SAC could potentially go back-to-back seasons being the first team to not make the playoffs. You only take 4, and they've been the number 5 ball club last year in a potential to do it 2 years in a row, as they have squandered an 11-point lead. Omaris Tolbert on the delay, and a very impressive tackle. That'll be number 11 for Jonah Moy tonight, which pushes the Mounties down to the 14. Gain of 2.
No fooling the RCC defense right there. Perfectly sound tackle right there. Squared them up, drove them down. Perfect textbook tackling right there.
6:16 to go. Omaris Tolbert is going to have to will this team to victory. They technically in Mount SAC don't even have to give the ball back to Riverside if they're able to move the chains. They've had over 22 first downs in this ball game, but none was bigger than that first down that they should have had with Omaris Tolbert, but he coughed up the ball inside the 5. And RCC, 4 minutes later, it led to a Denzel Foster score. From their own 14, shotgun snap. Allo with a deep drop, wings it near side, and it's caught, but only for a 1-yard pickup. Another impressive play made, this time by A.J. Hodgkins. Impressive season for the freshman. That'll be tackle number 50 here in 2014 for him.
Defensive backs for RCC playing that shutdown type of defense right now, not allowing anything past them right now.
The Tigers are chanting for its defense to make a play. Crowd on its feet. 5:19 to go. Mounties lead. It once was 11, but now by 2. 3rd down and 7. 4 wide set. Justin Allo operates out of the gun. Back to throw. Pass rush coming, and down he goes. Swallowed up at the 5 by Mickey Fangatua, and that'll be a 3-and-out by the offense. 3rd sack of the day, and none bigger than with 4:58 to go, the Mounties go 3-and-out.
Defense wins championships. Tonight, the defense has been on display on both sides, but none better than the RCC defense right here, right now.
This has been a thrilling seesaw battle between the 2 top programs in Southern California. Number 1, Mount SAC. Number 2, Riverside City College. At one point, the Mounties had an 11-point lead and were knocking on the door of yet another touchdown, but Omaris Tolbert, in what may just be the deciding play of the day, turns it over inside the RCC 5 as the injured Mountie trots off the field, and they'll have to punt on a 4th and 15. Mickey Fangatua, we haven't talked about him a whole lot. He's the lone defensive lineman who doesn't have a scholarship offer, but he's really playing himself into an NCAA roster, especially now with a game-changing sack inside the Mountie 10.
Boy, talk about a drastic change in offense. I mean, both teams averaging over 400 yards total offense per game. Right here, well short of that.
Fulham sends it away. Tremel Davis will signal fair catch, and it's made at the 45. 4:46 to go. Still plenty of time remaining. Do the Tigers decide to run out the remainder of this clock or just score as fast as they can?
That's a great question. And if I'm Tom Kraft, I'm taking a little bit of clock off of that, off that time. I mean, with Denzel Foster in your backfield, why not feed him the ball? Let him get a couple of chunks, and then when they least expect it, take a shot downfield.
Yeah, if I were them, though, I would personally not bank on scoring on this possession, right? If you can get a big play now, get a big play now. 4 wide set, Hunter lined up in the slot. Denzel Foster flanks the quarterback. King will keep it inside the 40. Read option down to the 39, a gain of 6. A very smart play made by Nicholas King, where Foster was going to be tackled down in the backfield.
Right, and that's that that option that is given in that set right there. Nicholas King electing to take it for a decent gain of 5 right there.
Boy, Riverside has been outgained over 2-1. Time of possession, yards, penalties have all been in favor of the Mounties, but a couple turnovers have been the difference. 2nd down and 4, flags fly, and a false start. 4:15 to go. The Mounties do still lead by 2. This crowd, though, is hoping for one more score by Riverside. That would give them the lead.
Boy, this one might come down to a Jimmy Camacho field goal.
We called it during the season. There's one point where this kicker is going to have to win it for us, and it may just be now. Clock runs down to 4:10.
He did take that game.
That's right, against Saddleback.
Yep.
King over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Darius Hunter. And the coverage is made by another man that I thought was very good in this Mountie offense. That's Christopher Solomon. Now 3rd and 9, and a big play for everyone involved. 4:04 to go. And the Tigers, who are right around 30% today on 3rd downs, have a first down make all the way at the 35 of Mount SAC. 4 wide set, crowd on its feet. King will keep it himself. Outside the numbers 40, looking for the first down, reaching for the chalk, and he's got it on a 10-yard gash. They only needed 9. Move the chains for the Tigers.
Nicholas King, when your number is called, boy, does it shine right there. Big pickup. First down. This drive continues with the chance to take the lead and possibly win this ball game.
How fitting would it be for Jimmy Camacho, who is what I regarded to be potentially the MVP for the Tigers in that rugged start to the season.
Right.
He was able to save a couple of games for us. He's warming up down there on the near sideline. 3:58 to go on a stopped clock. Dan Gadino and Nick Rice joining you live here from Wheelock Stadium here in Riverside, California. Tigers trail, but only by 2, and potentially the most entertaining game for Riverside this season.
It is, and right now, a little bit of controversy. They will elect to measure this last run by Nicholas King and make sure it is a first down.
Well, an interesting update, not from anything involved with football. The Giants lead 11-4 in the World Series, game number 3.
Interesting.
No, excuse me, that's game number 5, correct?
Yeah.
The series is tied at 2 apiece, which means that with the win, the Giants would be only 1 victory away from another World Series championship. I believe they're 2nd in 5 years, correct?
Yeah. Actually, they're third.
What's up with this music?
3rd in 5 years. That would be.
Wow, really?
Yeah. But back to this one, that first down finally officially given to the RCC Tigers right there.
The Jaws music was hilarious. Down to the 35.
Aren't
Riverside.
they the Tigers? They are the Tigers, right?
they I don't care who they are. I'm just glad to be a part.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little rivalry involved with the rest of our broadcast crew, as if you guys haven't noticed on the national sports, Chris Sylvester, who does Bosco games for us, he switched over from Riverside to Mount SAC, over to the dark side. And the Tigers, despite a deficit, are trying to pull ahead in this game. Play clock down to 12. 3:43 to go. Mounties lead by 2, and that'll be an offsides against the Mounties.
False start.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to call.
Offsides against the defense.
Finally, one of us in the direction of RCC.
Come on, man. Why are you so
I'm just so used to calling RCC penalties that I'm just like,
seriously.
Hey, why not call it again?
You'd be right about 100% of the time. 3:38 to go. 4 wide set. Handoff goes to Foster. Eludes out of one man, but not out of another. Mount SAC is there to collaborate in the lap of the halfback after a gain of 1. 2nd down and not 9, but make it